Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to Schiller Park. We would like to thank everyone for coming this morning. We have a prestigious day with the opening of our soccer field. This is a great day for this neighborhood and also for the city of Syracuse. So I want to thank you all guys for coming and joining us in this opening event. It'll be short on my part, but I'm here to introduce Mayor and DeFrancisco, who spearheaded this with the Schiller side of the community that helped us push this forward and get this opening, and it's a great event for this side of town. I do want to recognize a couple of our department heads who are here as well to support Peggy Chase, Councilman Joe Licoletti, and every other individual who's able to be out here, the media as well. And with that being said, I would like to bring Mayor Minor forward.
All right. I'm going to take advantage of the step. Super secure. That's why I hired a very tall Commissioner of Parks. I want to thank all of you for coming. We also have First District Councilor Joe Carney over there too, who represents this area. So thank you all for being here. I am thrilled to be here. This was a long aspiration and dream. We have a number of new Americans who are soccer mad and crazy. And I can't tell you how many times I came over to this park and saw them, their little kids playing on the playground over here, and the bigger kids and adults playing soccer in a field that really wasn't totally appropriate for soccer. This park, as many of you know, is named after the German poet Schiller, and there is the famous statue of Goethe and Schiller up over here. That statue was given by the German immigrants to this country who settled here in Syracuse as a way for the poets to look over this park as people picnicked and used it so many years ago. And I can't think of a more appropriate way to continue that tradition of providing recreational activities for our Syracuse residents than to have this land behind me be made appropriate for use of soccer. It is a sport that is taking over this country, and our new Americans are leading the way in that. And there is nothing better as a mayor or as a resident of the city but to see a beautiful park like this continue to be utilized by all ages, all neighborhoods, and all the people who reside here. That being said, none of this would have been possible if it were not for the gentleman to my right, metaphorically and literally right now.
That is correct.
Senator DeFrancisco has been just a really strong ally in everything that I've ever asked him to do. And this is just one actual example of what his leadership has been able to do and will provide to the people of this community. He is, as most of you know, an avid sportsman himself, and I have verified that he was and is quite the athlete. He may tell you that himself. That's why I want to say I verified it with other people, having had a couple of people in my life who like to tell me about their athletic glories. It always helps to verify that, and indeed it is verifiable. But Senator DeFrancisco's work in getting the funds to allow us to do the work necessary to make this a suitable soccer field made this dream possible. And I also want to just say a quick logistical note. There will be, continue to be a fence around this field until the spring of 2018 that will allow the sod to settle and make the cleats and shoes and sneakers of all of the people who use it not rip it up, so that we can be able to use it season after season after season. So for those of you, please tell your neighbors and friends, yes, the fence is around there for right now so that we can let the sod do the work that it needs to do so that it will be ready for spring of 2018. We will also be putting up signs around the fence in multiple languages that will explain that as well to everybody who comes over here with a soccer ball in hand and thinks that the soccer field is ready to use. Just a couple of more months, most of which we know will be filled with snow. So it's harder to play soccer in snow with a white soccer ball, so that should also help us keep people off the field while we let the grass proverbially and literally grow underneath our feet. So I want to thank the community members, I want to thank the city council, but most importantly, I want to thank Senator DeFrancisco for his leadership and his advocacy in making today possible. And with that, let me bring the senator up.
I refuse to use the step because I still have some pride, and actually the normal sized people are here. Lazarus just happens to be an outlier. All right. First, I want to also bring up Joe Nicoletti and Joe Carney. I was on the city council 100 years ago, and they also were pushing very strongly to make this neighborhood better and to make this park better. And they advocated strongly to try to make this happen. As far as my athletic prowess, I think I'd like to get into that. And Lazarus may not know this, but I was the captain of the Syracuse University baseball team back probably before he was born. And actually they retired by number. You probably didn't know that either. But what they did in about 1973 is retire all numbers by stopping baseball because the university was too cheap to pay for a sport that is an American sport but doesn't make any money. And I've expressed that to the chancellors from Chancellor Eggers on down to our current chancellor, and one of these days they're going to listen. But I have one story about this park because that's all I did when I was a kid. A lot of kids now, all they do is play soccer and other sports that weren't popular when I was growing up. But I was at this park an awful lot. I lived on DeWitt Street since about 8 years old. I now live on Cedric Drive, and which is right down the block. And when I was a kid, we used to play baseball here all the time. And I'm going to tell you a story. Some of you know Tony Alloy, the judge, just retired. Al Jockey, an individual who was the head of the probation department for Onondaga County. When we were kids together, they were bigger than me then, as they are bigger than me now. But we used to lose to their team all the time. And we were way ahead of the Yankees. We would buy players to make our team stronger in the summer. And figuring that they keep beating us, we got them on our team. And then we started winning regularly. And this is a true story. Al Jockey's a big guy. He was 12 years old. From this home plate here, 12 years old, he hit a baseball to second base on the other field. Now, if that isn't somebody that had some strength and could play the game and could hit the ball, just amazing. In fact, I think his great-great-grandson is the New York Yankees, is named Judge, the big guy.
Yeah.
No, not true, not true. But in any event, this field means a lot to me. This neighborhood means a lot to me. Kids playing sports means a lot to me. And it was an easy thing for us to do, to be convinced to help in this effort. And I next want to recognize a neighbor of mine, Sam Rotundo. We've been together for 170 years, and recently we've been together an awful lot of time, but great neighborhood resident, great friend. So thank you for everybody who participated, those that built the field, those that made sure it was supervised in a way to make it be done right, and thank you for the mayor. She's correct, literally and figuratively. I'm to her right. But she's getting older now, and she's starting to change a little bit. But the last thing, I think, maybe the most important thing, it's true, on a political spectrum, we do have differences of opinions. But if there's ever an indication, if you want to talk about the incivility or the inability for people to get together when there are different political philosophies, you could point to this relationship that we have had and will continue to have, that despite where we feel things politically, we try to get things done together, whatever we can get done together. So thank you all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much. Jai, you're up, buddy.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
I wish I'm a 9 years old kid. Started living in Syracuse, so if I could go back to 9 years old baby and start playing soccer on this field, I could have made my career as a soccer professional. But I'm too old now. I'm almost around 40s getting. So anyway, thank you, Senator. Thank you, Mayor Minor. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, City Councilor and neighborhood groups, Friends of Schiller Park Board and all the North Side group, and True North, right? BCPC, Butternut Community Police Center, Ken Boddy. You are the man. So 9 years back, I came as a refugee, and I played a whole lot of time soccer in the refugee camp. It wasn't any organized field. It wasn't any organized like a. It is supposed to be a soccer ball. But we couldn't able to afford, and we used to collect the dirty clothes and wrap up with the plastic and tie it up with the thread and make like a ball. And we used to play around everywhere, under the tree or everywhere. We don't have any, there's no way of funding, no big enough ground, and we played everywhere. And if you see my foot, you can see everything, whatever happened on my foot, but I'm with the shoes now. So when I came here, the passion of soccer we see around. I remember we drive down to Alamy Street, Dr. Wickey's school. We didn't have a car, so we used to walk there. And then after that, we found the Schiller Park, but it is not like a well-maintained, even surface ground. Even then, we started playing. We have 100, 200 kids show up every day from all ethnic background, from Burma to Middle East Africa, to Western Africa, to South Asian countries like Bhutan. We are from all over the country, and we used to divide a small piece of the ground and play within us. And slowly when we started having car, because there's too much crowded here, we don't have a field to play, and we started traveling to other part. Nottingham Field, Henniger Field, Berry Park, and sometimes go to Liverpool. So wherever the ground is empty, we go around, all around the neighborhood and find what is appropriate, and the Grand Middle School too. So around 2010, we come together. The Vincent Lou is a soccer crazy man at the North Townsend Street. So we went to City Hall and we sat with the mayor and said, we want soccer field on the north side. We have so many young kids that want to grow up in their life as a profession with the soccer. There's so much talented kids that they want to build up their life. So we asked for the field on the north side, and we look around. We have seen a couple other places, but which is not liable. So finally, when the work started at the Schiller Park, I was thrilled and so happy. And I play soccer here, I play volleyball on that other corner, Ken knows, and then I play cricket on the other side, right here. But we don't have a cricket field anymore. We can still play the volleyball on the other side. So this morning, around 5 a.m., I put on my Facebook, we have a 10 o'clock meeting together at Schiller Park. A lot of people commented, can you talk about the cricket field on the north side? Can you talk about the Grand Middle Field there, when it could be done? So it's a lot of energy coming up. So this is the starting of the soccer, and then the new game that is coming to Syracuse. We have a chief, we have a SU, all basketballs and the baseball and football, but soccer we don't have seen a whole lot of craze, but this is coming up. So I'm sure this will definitely go along with the other kinds of game. So thank you, Senator, again. Thank you, Mayor Minor, for your leadership, and then thank you all of you who joined us today, and let's help each and every one, and these kids will go where they can go. We have a 3-year-old kid. He was from Nigeria. He came as a refugee kid, and he's in the U.S. soccer team now. He's a national soccer team now. So the refugee kids can be a U.S. national champion. Thank you all. Thank you for coming.
Thanks again, Senator. I'm going to do a scrum because I probably have other questions.
Well, again, thank you everyone for coming.
Normal things.
As you
You
notice,
can push this up. It's all right. I won't be offended.
okay, I didn't want to step on the box. Can I step on the box?
No, can't do that.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for coming. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the Senator. We appreciate the Mayor. Jai, thanks. That plug you just made for cricket. I know the Schiller's neighborhood group will be calling. And to reach me, I'm open. You can call me at 315 Mayor Minor. And I'll take all calls and we'll see what we can do. But on this serious but funny note, if you want to see, and we all have our differences, we all have our political differences, and we all have our personal differences. But if you want to see what Syracuse is and how Syracuse is great, you look at our parks. You look at what we are doing for our youth. And if we keep doing this and building for our youth, our city will get back to what it used to be, which was great. Now, for soccer, I played soccer too, Senator. So, real young, I was about that big. Then I could use a step. But if you want to see a good basketball player, you take him to the soccer field and you kick him in the shin, and he'll run off and go find the nearest basketball court. And that was my journey to SU and Henninger it was. I wanted to play soccer. I grew up in the neighborhoods, and that was, a neighborhood sport because it was, like Jai said, you didn't have to have much money to play it. But as I got kicked in the shins and as I got pushed down, I figured this wasn't a sport for me. So I went to the hardwood, and I didn't get pushed down so much. So again, thank you everyone for coming and joining us. This is a great event for Schiller Park, but also for City of Syracuse. Mayor Minor, thank you for everything. DeFran, thank you. And can't thank you enough. Keep supporting our city and our youth. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.